Hello friends, my name is Ramasu. Today we shall discuss about a topic that what is firmware. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in computer and hardware and you want to learn about it. So let's start. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my new videos can reach to you. Friend, firmware is basically is a programming that's written to a hardware device, non-volatile memory. Non-volatile memory is a form of static random access memory where the content is saved when a hardware device is turned off or loses its external power source. Firmware is installed directly onto a piece of hardware during manufacturing. It is used to run user programs on the device and can be thought of as the software that enables hardware to run. Hardware makers use embedded firmware to control the functions of various hardware devices and systems, much like a computer operating system controls the function of software application. Firmware may be written into read-only memory, erasable programmable read-only memory, or flash memory. Firmware updates are often issued to fix bugs, prevent firmware hacks, roll out new features, improve security, or interact with new media. Firmware updates consist of code that tells the hardware how to behave in a new or modified way. Some examples of firmware updates include a CD disk return writer gains the ability to burn a new type of disk. A router gets an update that improves its performance and stability. A motherboard manufacturer releases a BIOS update that enables the motherboard to support new processors. BIOS is motherboard firmware. Some internet connected devices regularly check for new firmware and automatically download and install it. Other device manufacturers require the user to visit the manufacturer's website to download and install firmware updates manually. Manufacturers release updates on a regular basis. There are many types of technology specific firmware, but all firmware can generally be sorted into three categories based on the level of hardware integration. First one is the low level. Low-level firmware is considered an intrinsic part of device hardware. It is often stored on non-volatile read-only chips like ROM and therefore cannot be rewritten or updated. High-level firmware. High-level firmware does allow updates and is generally more complex than low-level firmware. In a computer, high-level firmware resides on flash memory chips. Subsystem firmware. Subsystem firmware often comes as part of an embedded system. It is comparable to a high-level firmware in that it can be updated and is more complex than low-level firmware. One example is a server power subsystem, which is a piece of server hardware that functions semi-independent from the server. So friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with the friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video.